Today we are back with another community member gameplay review, and today's game is absolutely insane. Scoot here is a console player who drops a 36 kill win here in Fortune's Keep solos. So today we're going to be talking about what does he do that allows him to have success? How can he drop 36 kills even though he's on console, even though he has the same FOV disadvantage that you have? Now understand that these tips apply to both Rebirth and Fortune's Keep, even though we are doing a Fortune's Keep breakdown. First thing that I'm going to tell you, if you get caught in a situation like this, where because of FOV, this player is right on top of you, hip fire everything, AR, SMG, LMG, I don't care. What you are going to see is that because he hip fires, this is a bar right here. This isn't a hip fire build. I mean, this is a floor loop bar that he doesn't miss a shot because of how close he is to this enemy. So as we watch this back right here, I do want to say one thing. If you want to have your gameplay reviewed, check the pinned comment down below. I have a link to join my Discord as well as instructions on how to submit your gameplay. Now, let's just get one of the obvious things out of the way. Execution matters just as much as it does on PC. You've got to be able to use your aim. You've got to be able to use your movement, and you're going to see that right here. You know, he is a very good player. This is a pretty basic re-challenge. He's going to put the plate in. He's going to break the line of sight a little bit. He's immediately going to reach out, and he's going to hit all of his shots with the Type 100. But let's go ahead and get into this next tip real quick, which, as I always talk about, is going to be to keep your distance. Right here in this moment, right here, if this player that he's challenging is a PC player, neither player has the advantage from a PC versus console perspective. Scoot here, you know, there's no threat of getting his camera broken. This guy can't do anything besides just having to execute, and Scoot executes better. So when we talk about keeping your distance, a lot of what we're paying attention to is how much is Scoot pushing, how much is he keeping control of fights, and how is he challenging fights to actually keep his distance to not get his camera broken. He's going to die twice. This is going to be one of them, but he's going to easily regain here. Now, when we talk about solos, I love solos. Why? And it's something you probably should play more of. Everything is a 1v1 fight, and you get less information than you do in duos, trios, and quads. When you kill somebody in quads, you get information about where 3 other people are. In solos, you don't get any other information. So it is the same number of people, but you're always dealing with less information. It makes it a little bit tougher. Now, we're going to see this next situation right here. Notice the distance that he's in. Once again, there's no threat of getting your camera broken right there. He's in a really good kind of distance to challenge that enemy, and the distance I always say is 5 to 7 meters. If you're within that, you need to hip fire. If you're outside of that, you're in a good spot. You're gonna see it right here. You know, he's in a really good position. That kind of actually plays to his advantage as long as you're using, and yes, I will say this, as long as you are using a gun that doesn't have a ton of visual recoil. You know, the Cooper carbine, it's really easy for him to execute right there and actually hit shots. So the biggest tips that I can give you are 1, to keep your distance, and 2, we are going to be paying attention to information. Once again, look at this distance. No threat of getting your camera broken. You've just got to execute and hit shots. And that's where even on console, aim and movement matters. Yeah, absolutely it does. And you can try to shy away from that. You can say that FOV is a disadvantage. It absolutely is. But are you executing as much as you can? Are you hitting shots? Are you using movement to your advantage to take less damage? So all of those things we're going to be paying attention to. Once again, distance, right? Notice the distance. He's going to go in and act on a bunch of information here. He's got 1 flying in back behind him. He's got 2 over to his right. He's going to catch this guy right here. Good distance there to challenge with the Marco. By the way, somebody probably has already commented, oh, this is a bot lobby. This is a 1.24 KD lobby. He drops 36 kills. He's a very, very good player. There's his FOV, right? And he goes down. So there's the second death, but he almost gets out of it because of his movement. Yes, he misses this guy because of FOV. It is what it is. We're about to pop off right now for 30-something kills, for 29 straight kills, I guess. Yeah, because there's his 2 deaths. So when we talk about using information, by the way, this is a very aggressive play. Side note, whether you are on PC or console, you know, you're talking about 10 seconds left on respawn. Actually, he's fine because he went up top. I thought he went down below. You know, don't be too over aggressive in solos when you're flying back in. Let your respawn timer reset, and then you can go ahead and challenge. Once again, he's going to hip fire right there. He's immediately going to reach out, and we see the level of execution that he has, right? But notice once again, he's in a good spot to challenge this. This guy's low health, right? So he has an advantage as of right. That guy's dead. So these guys are about equal. He's just got to execute a little bit. Now, when we talk about information, we got to use our minimap. We've got to get UAVs up, and we have to use audio, which I'll talk about in a second. But all of these things are because we can't always rely let me rephrase that. I'm a PC player that is just trying to help you out. You can't always rely, I shouldn't say we, because I have FOV. You can't always rely on what you actually see. So the more information that you can have, challenge with momentum, right? He has the advantage there, he's easily gonna execute. The more information that you can have about where people are on your minimap, whether it's through UAVs, outside of solos after you get a kill, you know, you can actually, oh, good, hip fire everything, right? He gets caught in that distance, he's gonna hip fire everything. Immediately focus, and you can see how he's constantly challenging with momentum. Immediately focusing on that next enemy, using information. In this case, when we talk about the 6 ways to actually find people, what he's acting on is just hearing people shooting. He heard somebody shooting, he challenges that, even though there's no minimap pings. When you are on console, use the, oh, good shots right there with the Cooper carbine. That's actually insane, but he's not going to be able to get the thirst. You've got to use minimap pings. When you hear people shooting unsilenced weapons, check that, when you hear people shooting in general, check that minimap, see if somebody actually pops up on radar. You've got to use UAVs. You've got to use minimap pings after you get a kill. And when it comes to audio, I don't care whether you're on PC or console, do not trust directional audio. Simply trust and use that to understand that people are around you, and then start to figure out how you can find them. Now, he's on really good pace right here. He's absolutely on 30 bomb pace. The lobby's gonna stay healthy. I don't know what, like, solos wise, what we're looking at lobby health if we're in trios and quads. Good shots right there with the Marco. That's execution. When we talk about console players, right? How many of you would actually be able to execute right here? And ask yourself, I'm not putting you on the spot. Nobody has to answer, but I'm saying, how many of you does that guy get away because you don't actually hit your shots there to the best, to the level that you should be, to the level that he is? Look, he's just absolutely executing, and he's executing within a distance that he's in a really good spot for. He's within the distance that we, or outside of the distance that we always talk about, and he's just absolutely frying people left and right. He's not missing any shots. So when we talk about why is he off to 16 kills so far, well, people are flying in around him. He's in a good position, you know, positioning wise, and he is executing based on what he has. He is absolutely frying here with the Cooper carbine, not missing any shots. And what I will say is that on PC, movement, you can get away with your movement. You can get out of situations because of your movement. On console, your positioning is crucial. His pace of play is just absolutely insane here. 10 shots left. Be careful. Yep, quick reload. Quick reload for me. Yep, there we go. Okay, let's go ahead and challenge. Now, yeah, he probably heard that guy. Now, look at him wait. Look, notice the hesitation right there. Good distance. Notice how he waits. He's anticipating around the corner. He's ready for that guy. And if this guy's right here, by the way, this isn't a bad spot to be in. But notice that he is constantly pushing, right? He's keeping control of fights, whereas that guy got caught on his heels. A lot of you get your camera broken because you're not actually pushing that enemy, and you're not actually in control of the distance. The pace of play he's playing at is absolutely insane right now. I mean, he's almost on 40 bomb pace. Be careful, there's one right behind you. There's one right behind you on loadout. Back behind you on balloon somewhere. Yeah, you can see him shooting right behind you. That's where you got to use your minimap, right? So when we see this right here, we've got to be aware of this enemy on our minimap. So you got to be careful. Yep, quick play, and you should be good to re-engage. 20 kills with 20 other people still alive. This game's absolutely insane. And he's not doing anything fancy, right? He's just kind of taking what's given to him, but he's also not putting himself in bad situations. A lot of you are saying FOV, FOV, FOV. Not in any danger of getting his camera broken. He plays this perfectly. He's in control of this gunfight. He jumps back a little bit, opens up that FOV. You know, a lot of you get your camera broken simply because you're not actually pushing people. You are getting pushed, and we see how much control he is keeping. He's finally going to grab loadout. He's got $7,000, so I would start thinking about a UAV if possible, and he's running the MP40 and the Cooper carbine. Notice that he opts, and I don't know why he went with the MP40 here. It's a good option, but it is a lower recoil option. It's lower visual recoil option, something that you can use to your advantage on console. Push in. Whereas the Blixen tends to be high, no danger of getting his camera broken. I'm just going to keep highlighting this because I want you to take FOV out of the equation as much as you can. In this moment right here, This guy tries to break the camera. This guy tries to jump peek the corner. There's nothing that this enemy can do. FOV is not a factor in that situation. So start to understand why you are dying because of FOV. Are you not pushing enemies? Are you FOV? Not a factor. Why are you dying? Are you dying because you're putting yourself in that situation on top of an enemy and pushing way too close? Are you not thinking about that distance that you want to be fighting at? Are you getting pushed by enemies because you don't exactly have any information up? Why are you in these situations? If you haven't already, by the way, make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you have made it this far. What are we, 9 minutes in now? I'm a little late on that one, but if you are looking to get better, make sure you are subscribed down below. Now start using it from, no, go check to your left. There's one literally, oh my gosh. I just noticed, by the way, he does not have minimap rotation on. That is one thing he absolutely has to do. That's going to make it really tough here. I don't know how he uses that to his advantage. Holy smokes. That's so backwards. That's really backwards. Notice how he's moving. The minimap is not moving with him. Makes it really tough in terms of direction. I would recommend always having that setting on. Minimap rotation square. FOV, not a factor. Executes perfectly. Hits his shot. Doesn't give, and we can talk about that, right? The level of execution that he is at, which is crucial for whether you're on PC or console. You know, he's not taking damage, which allows him to stay in these fights quicker. High damage areas with the MP40, easily able to fry right there. You know, hits all high damage areas, takes some damage, but at the end of the day, he's able to win that gunfight. 26 kills. Still 13 other people still alive. Notice that there's no direction on that minimap. It's really throwing me off right here, trying to figure out exactly where people are. The minimap should spin with you so that whenever you're looking forward, it's basically also looking forward on the minimap. Yep, went over to your somewhere around here. But I can't use the minimap here, which makes it really tough. So those are the bots, I think. I can't get over this. Anyway, we're going to keep going. I would highly suggest you always have that. 26 kills, still 12 other people. And notice he's just now rotating out of town. You know, he's been in a good spot so far where all of the action has kind of come to him. It's one of those tips that I give you on Fortune's Keep is if people are just kind of in the area and kills are just coming to you, go ahead and use that to your advantage. The moment that people are not there anymore and, you know, are kind of rotating out, or maybe they're in winery or keeping, or you've killed everybody at town, you've got to rotate to the next area. But if people are just hanging in town and people keep flying back in, use that to your advantage. Distance, good distance right there. Challenges, really good cover, able to execute. Doesn't really know where anybody is though. That's the one thing about we see right here with information. I'd be tempted to grab big game bounty. Good shots right there. He's just absolutely frying with these two guns. And understand that I will say this, you know, when you are at this distance right here, you do kind of have an advantage over PC players, right? So you can use this to your advantage. The one thing that people always say is, I can't see everybody, and people break my camera. Both things that you somewhat have control over. You know, I would give you the benefit of the doubt when it comes to I don't see everything. And that's kind of because of the situation that you're in, whether you're too close quarters or you don't have information. But that one I will give you. The one I will not give you is that people break my camera. It's because you're not in control of fights. That's what it comes down to, and you got to really, really focus on that. 29 kills, still 8 other people still alive. Yep, there. Nope, that guy's dead. One right there. Distance, right? He doesn't push in. He just immediately acts on that. One straight ahead of him. Oh my gosh. And notice how he's like I keep saying, he's just kind of taking what's given to him. He's just acting on the information that he has. But the biggest thing is the execution component. You gotta be able to execute no matter what system or what platform you are on. Xbox, PlayStation, PC, doesn't matter. It really does still come down to that execution. One right there. Easy kill. Able to act on that. Does he get the minimap ping over there? Is that why he pushes? Yeah, he gets the minimap ping that guy's flying back over. So he immediately acts on that information that he has. He's able to easily get this kill. 32 kills, 5 other people still alive. One right up top, mounts dead with the Cooper carbine. I mean, you see the level of execution. By the way, he is, if you made it this far, he is playing to about a 4 KD as of late. And you can really, really see that with his execution and why he's able to get kills without taking damage, even in a good lobby. Notice his enemies haven't shot back because of his positioning and because of his execution. That's what it comes down to. Aim, movement, positioning, game strategy, anticipation. All things that he is doing really, really well throughout this game, which is allowing him to play with that momentum and allowing him to challenge enemies immediately and then get back into fights. I will say what I'm going to tell you is, by the way, I am going to be doing a lot of videos. Once Modern Warfare 2 comes out late October, my whole thought process is going to be how can we use this to prepare for Warzone 2, which comes out about a month later. So I want you to understand that's going to be my thought process going into Modern Warfare 2. And Warzone 2 is what guns are going to be good. How can we already improve our, aim and movement? What movements are there going to be? A lot of different things that will prepare you and allow you to have the most success possible come Warzone 2. 34 kills, 3 other people still alive. He's just trying to see what he can find. He's playing positioning. Doesn't have enough. The one thing I will say, he doesn't really have good cash flow throughout this game, but it's just because everybody's flying back in on him. Watch him keep his distance. Doesn't push in too close. Perfectly executes right there. High damage. Yep, the guy said good shots. Absolutely. Absolutely. One other player alive here. Now, this is where the minimap gets really weird. He's going to see him up top a little. I think he sees him up top. Not totally sure where exactly he is. He's going to finish this game strong. He's going to pick up the dub, like I said, but overall, really good game. I would encourage you to play more solos. It's going to force you to have better awareness. It's going to force you to execute in your 1v1s. He's going to go ahead and push up tower, see what he can find. Notice how he's centering. Challenges this guy in the corner. There it is. I hope you found today's video helpful. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.